First contact and invasion. The Europa research station gleamed like a jewel against the icy backdrop of Jupiter's moon. 30 years of human innovation had transformed the frozen outpost into humanity's crowning achievement. A self-sustaining colony of 5,000 scientists, engineers, and their families. The station's biodomes housed exotic gardens, while its laboratories probed the mysteries of Europa's subsurface ocean. Dr. Elias Khamenei stood at the observation deck, watching Jupiter's swirling clouds through the reinforced viewport. As chief science officer, he'd dedicated 15 years to proving humanity belonged among the stars. What had begun as a mining operation had evolved into humanity's first true off-world colony, a testament to human adaptability in one of the solar system's harshest environments. Dr. Khamenei, his assistant's voice crackled through the comm. You're needed in Central Command. Priority Alpha. Priority Alpha. In 15 years, he'd never heard those words. When Elias arrived at Central Command, the atmosphere was electric with tension. Screens displayed something impossible. A massive vessel approaching Europa from outside the solar system. First contact. Humanity had long speculated about intelligent life, but no one expected it to arrive without warning at their doorstep. Station Director Haruki Tanaka stood rigidly before the main screen. It's slowing, preparing to enter orbit, he said, voice tight. No response to our communications. The vessel dwarfed anything humans had ever constructed. Nearly 3 kilometers of what appeared to be biological material fused with metallic components. It didn't reflect light so much as absorb it, creating the impression of a void moving through space. We're being scanned, reported Communications Officer Lin. Intense radiation sweeps. They're looking at everything. An hour passed in tense silence before the first transmission arrived. The message wasn't in words, but in images that formed in their minds, a psychic projection that somehow bypassed their communication systems. Small creatures, soft, weak. Your world now belongs to the Valkyrie. The images that followed showed a species evolved from apex predators, bipedal but massive, covered in chitinous plates, with multiple sets of arms ending in razor-sharp appendages. Their homeworld flashed in their minds, a nightmare landscape of acidic oceans, crushing gravity, and constant electrical storms. A Deathworld that had forged the Valkyrie into conquerors. They're giving us 6 hours to surrender the station. Director Tanaka translated as the message concluded. They consider this formality. They don't expect resistance. The Valkyrie had encountered 17 intelligent species across their expansion. None had survived first contact. Their biology was a miracle of evolution, immune to radiation, capable of surviving in vacuum for short periods, and possessing strength that could tear through reinforced bulkheads. They viewed other species as resources to be harvested or obstacles to be removed. Get me Earth Command, Tanaka ordered, and initiate Protocol Omega. Protocol Omega. The contingency plan no one expected to use. While the Europa station appeared purely scientific, it housed a secret military installation beneath its icy surface. As tensions with Mars colonists had escalated years ago, Earth had quietly transformed Europa into a defensive outpost. Now those defenses would face an enemy no one had anticipated. Commander Maya Chen emerged from the hidden sublevels as the emergency protocols activated. At 38, Chen wasn't the typical military commander. She'd been a xenobiologist before military service, her understanding of alien biology making her uniquely qualified for a posting many considered ceremonial. Now she stood as Europa's only hope. Status report, she demanded, stepping into Central Command. 3 transport vessels deploying from the mothership, Tactical Officer Rodriguez reported. Estimated 50 hostiles per transport. They'll breach the station within 30 minutes. Chen nodded. Activate Defense Grid Alpha. All non-essential personnel to secure shelters. She turned to Director Tanaka. Sir, I recommend we evacuate you with the civilian contingent. Tanaka shook his head. This is my station, Commander. I'm staying. The first wreaking boarding party breached the station's outer defenses with terrifying efficiency. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, their armored bodies shrugged off conventional weapons fire. They moved with unnatural speed, communicating through subsonic frequencies human ears couldn't detect. What they didn't expect was Commander Chen's preparedness. As the first wreaking warriors entered the main corridor, they triggered hidden defenses, not bullets or explosives, but precisely calibrated sound waves that disrupted their neural patterns. The massive aliens stumbled, disoriented by technology specifically designed to target their biology. "How did you know?" Director Tanaka asked as they watched from Central Command. "I didn't," Chen replied. "But my team has spent years theorizing about potential first contact scenarios. We developed countermeasures for 12 different physiological profiles. The wreaking most closely matched Profile 7. She activated her comm. Deploy tactical teams with sonic disruptors. Standard weapons as backup only." The wreaking's advance slowed, but didn't stop. Their adaptive biology began compensating for the sonic attacks, though at significant cost to their coordination. When the first wave reached the habitat ring, they encountered another surprise. Europa's security forces equipped with exoskeletal enhancement suits that multiplied human strength tenfold. For the first time in their history of conquest, the wreaking faced meaningful resistance. Their psychic communications betrayed confusion, then rage. The small, soft creatures weren't surrendering. They were fighting back. In Central Command, Dr. Kamani worked frantically alongside Chen's science team, analyzing the biological data flooding in from the encounters. "Their cellular structure is remarkable," he said. "Self-repairing, almost instantaneously. But there's a pattern to it. A vulnerability in their neural pathways when exposed to specific electromagnetic frequencies." Chen nodded. "Recalibrate the station's internal EM field generators. Target those frequencies." The wreaking's second wave hit harder, having adapted to the sonic weapons. They tore through bulkheads, their natural weapons as effective as industrial cutting tools. But as they penetrated deeper into the station, the recalibrated EM fields activated. The effect wasn't immediately obvious, until the massive aliens began to lose coordination, their movements becoming erratic. "Their neural network is degrading," reported Dr. Kamani. "The fields are disrupting their ability to communicate and coordinate." But the victory was short-lived. The wreaking mothership deployed a massive energy pulse, temporarily disabling Europa's power grid. Emergency systems kicked in, but the EM fields failed. The third wave of wreaking boarded unopposed. With conventional defenses failing, Commander Chen enacted her final contingency. "Activate Project Prometheus," she ordered. Deep beneath Europa's surface, in laboratories unknown even to most station personnel, humanity's most classified research program awakened. What the galaxy would soon learn was that humans hadn't just been studying space. They had been preparing for war. The wreaking breached Central Command expecting to find cowering prey. Instead, they encountered Commander Chen standing calmly before what appeared to be standard environmental suits. As the aliens advanced, Chen smiled, the expression meaningless to the wreaking, but universally understood by humans as the confidence that precedes victory. "You should have researched us better," she said, knowing they understood her words through their psychic abilities. "Humans evolved on a Deathworld too." With that, Chen activated the suits. What followed would change the galaxy's understanding of humanity forever. The counter-offensive. The environmental suits Commander Chen activated weren't standard equipment. Project Prometheus represented the culmination of decades of classified research, biomechanical interfaces that merged human intuition with machine precision. As the suits enveloped the volunteers, neural links established, transforming ordinary humans into something the wreaking couldn't comprehend. Biological minds controlling synthetic bodies designed specifically to counter Deathworld physiology. The wreaking warriors hesitated. Their psychic communications betrayed confusion as they faced opponents suddenly matching their strength and speed, but with human adaptability and problem-solving. The Prometheus suits moved with fluid grace, their outer layers comprised of programmable matter that could harden instantly against attacks or reconfigure to optimize movement. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology, Commander Chen said, her voice calm as chaos erupted around her. It's our ability to adapt. The tide turned in corridors throughout the station. While the wreaking relied on natural weapons and brute force, the Prometheus-enhanced humans deployed precise, targeted strikes against the aliens' now-known vulnerabilities. What had been a slaughter became a strategic battle, one where human ingenuity began to prevail against evolutionary advantages. Aboard the wreaking mothership, the Hive commander observed with mounting concern. The conquest of this outpost should have been trivial, a minor operation hardly worthy of personal attention. Instead, the humans had countered each wreaking advantage with remarkable speed. More troubling, they seemed to be learning, adapting their tactics with each engagement. Impossible, the Hive commander communicated to its subordinates. These creatures evolved on a Class 3 world. Their bodies are fragile, their lives brief. Yet the evidence couldn't be denied. The boarding parties were failing to secure objectives. Worse, the humans had begun counterattacking, not just defending their station, but actively targeting wreaking weak points. On Europa, Dr. Khamenei made a breakthrough that would prove decisive. Analyzing data from fallen wreaking, he identified the frequency of their psychic network, the communication system that allowed them to function as a coordinated hive. "We can't just block it," he explained to Commander Chen as they hunched behind a barricade. "But we can introduce noise, random signals that disrupt their coordination." Chen nodded. "Do it." Throughout the station, human technicians repurposed communication arrays to broadcast on the wreaking frequency. The effect was immediate and devastating. The invaders' perfect coordination shattered. Individual warriors, cut off from the hive mind, fell into confusion and disarray. Sensing disaster, the Hive commander ordered a tactical retreat. The remaining boarding parties would return to the mothership, which would then obliterate the station from orbit. The humans had proven more troublesome than anticipated, but conventional weapons would resolve the situation. What the wreaking didn't anticipate was humanity's final secret. As the mothership charged its primary weapons, 6 stealth vessels emerged from hiding positions in Jupiter's upper atmosphere. These weren't the clumsy transports the wreaking had observed earlier, but advanced warships, Earth's first true space combat vessels, developed in secret and stationed at Europa as a precaution against potential threats. The human warships struck with precision, targeting the mothership's propulsion systems with specialized warheads designed to penetrate the biological-mechanical hybrid hull. The wreaking vessel shuddered under impacts it never expected to face from a supposedly primitive species. In Central Command, Director Tanaka received the transmission from Earth Fleet Admiral Zhao. "Europa Station. This is the EDF constellation. Cavalry has arrived." Commander Chen allowed herself a brief smile before returning to tactical operations. "Focus fire on their weapon systems," she ordered. "We need that ship intact." The space battle lasted less than an hour. Earth's warships, while technologically inferior to the wreaking vessel in absolute terms, had been designed specifically to counter advanced threats. Their weapons targeted biological components while electronic warfare systems disrupted the ship's neural network. Cut off from Central Command, and with key systems failing, the remaining wreaking warriors aboard Europa surrendered, an unprecedented event in their species' history. When Commander Chen and Dr. Khamenei boarded the crippled mothership with a Prometheus-enhanced security team, they found the Hive commander in a state of shock. The massive being, nearly 4 meters tall with multiple neural clusters visible through translucent cranial plates, regarded the humans with new awareness. "You are not as you appear," it communicated directly to their minds. "No," Chen agreed. "We're not." The truth, as the wreaking would soon learn, was that Earth was indeed a death world by galactic standards, not in its current state, but in its past. Humans had evolved through millions of years of struggle, surviving ice ages, meteor impacts, and countless natural disasters. While physically unimpressive by Deathworld standards, human minds had adapted to overcome physical limitations through technology and cooperation. More significantly, humanity had never stopped preparing for threats. The conflicts between Earth nations, then Earth and its colonies, had driven military innovation that the peaceful spacefaring civilizations the wreaking had previously encountered never developed. Humans expected conflict. They planned for it, and in those plans lay their salvation. In the aftermath, as Earth forces secured Europa Station and medical teams treated both human and wreaking wounded, an unprecedented diplomatic channel opened. The Hive commander, now designated ambassador, requested formal communication with Earth's leadership. "We misjudged your species," the ambassador transmitted as Chen and Khamenei facilitated the exchange. The wreaking recognized strength. "You have earned respect." What followed shocked the human delegation. The wreaking proposed an alliance, not subjugation, but partnership. They had encountered a species worthy of recognition, capable of standing against Deathworld physiology through innovation and determination. Director Tanaka, speaking for Earth, responded cautiously. "We did not seek this conflict, but we will protect our people. Any relationship between our species must acknowledge equal standing." The wreaking agreed, and in that moment, the galaxy's balance shifted. News of the conflict spread quickly through interstellar channels. Other spacefaring civilizations, many previously dismissive of humanity as primitive newcomers, reassessed their understanding of the species that had repelled the dreaded wreaking. 6 months later, Commander Chen stood again at Europa's observation deck, watching Jupiter's clouds as she had before first contact. Beside her stood Dr. Khamenei and a wreaking cultural attaché, part of the exchange program established under the new treaty. "Your world is beautiful," the wreaking communicated, its thoughts carrying genuine appreciation. "Different from ours, but with its own strength." Chen nodded. "That's something we're learning about the galaxy. Strength takes many forms." The incident at Europa became known as the Deathworld confrontation, the moment when humanity announced its presence on the galactic stage not as explorers or traders, but as equals to even the most physically imposing species. The wreaking, for their part, gained something equally valuable: the understanding that evolution had many paths to success, and that cooperation could achieve what conquest could not. As Earth expanded its presence beyond the solar system in the years that followed, its reputation preceded it. Humanity wasn't feared exactly, but respected, recognized as creatures whose ingenuity made them formidable despite their physical limitations. And on Deathworlds throughout the galaxy, the most feared predators shared a new maxim: beware the clever ones. They don't need claws to be dangerous. For, as the wreaking had learned at great cost, the most dangerous adaptation in the universe wasn't physical strength or natural weapons, but the ability to turn disadvantage into opportunity. And in that arena, humans had no equal.